On, why don't we start? Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Hello, Tom. There, I see you. Good.
Hello.
The first thing would be yearly. We have to.
You need to do a roll call, Joe,
Oh. Why do we have to do a roll call?
because you
All-
got to prove who's
all
in
Zoom.
attendance.
All Zoom
Right.
meetings need to be roll call votes.
Yeah.
But I know we do the roll call votes. We haven't done we're not voting yet.
No. You got to do an attendance.
All right. Besides
You
myself,
can just say, state your name.
Tip,
I'm here.
Chris,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Tom,
Here.
John,
Here.
Wayne,
Yeah.
and Phil.
Here.
Okay. So we'll take, because no one's here from PMA, I'll take.
I got notes. I'm
You
taking
got
notes.
notes? Okay, all right, thanks, Chip. The first thing on the agenda is to elect a chairperson and a secretary. Do for chairperson, do we have any nominations?
I
Nominate
move we-
Joe.
Joe.
Second that.
Second that.
Second that.
Oh, good God.
Third that.
Watch that, third that.
Sorry.
All right, any other nominations? Seeing no nominations, are there any oppositions?
You accept the nomination.
Yeah, I accept, I guess.
So seeing none, it was unanimous.
I hear,
It's my phone, sorry.
that's all right, don't worry. Do I have a nomination for the secretary?
Secretary for Chip.
Any other nominations? Anybody second it?
Second.
Second. Second.
All right. Any other nominations? Seeing none, anybody object to Chip besides Chip? Seeing none, unanimous.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to serve.
Notice I didn't say that. Oh. All right, next is the approve the minutes of June 2nd to be, the approval of those minutes to be amended to spell Wayne's name correctly. And
Thank you. I appreciate
no
it.
problem. So it'll be amended to have Wayne's name spelled, and I'll have the guy from PMA make that correction as amended.
So I move that we accept the June 2nd meeting as written with the amended name change.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, any objections to approval of the minutes? Hearing none, I deem it unanimous.
Yeah.
All right. There are invoices that we have to approve for the Greenwood School roof. Chip, you want to?
Sure. I move that we approve PMA's June bill invoice number 04372-7 for the sum of $3,747.29.
Second.
Any discussion?
Can I ask a quick question about the PMA billing?
You
I
may.
noticed not like the other consultants, they don't show like a percentage complete in their task. They're just billing amounts. Do they have like a ceiling fee they're working under, or how do we know like how much they've billed to date and how much we expect them to bill
They have
for their contract?
They have their contract is pre-approved. I don't have them with me. There was a ceiling for the whole project.
Okay, so no
A
more
set
than.
sum.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was a set sum. They, the MSBA sets the sum.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
And Phil, we'll get them to just put a percentage to complete on the next bill.
Yeah, I just noted it was
No, it's a
different than
good-
the other
it's a good thing to
consultants,
know.
so, Yeah.
Good thing to know.
Any other discussion?
I get a quick question.
Yep.
Being a school department guy that I was in Wakefield and North Reading, does anybody from the school department kind of keep an eye on these projects? Kind of on a day-to-day basis, or is it all out of their
Bob
hands?
does, yeah. Yes, there is, for this one, Wayne, Bob is kind of the go-to guy. However, any change orders or anything else have to come through us. He has
I
no
know,
authority to spend
No,
any
just-
money
No,
on it.
no, sir, I certainly understand that. It's just to kind of keep an eye on things on a.
Yeah, he would on this project where it's a quick
Yeah.
summer slammer.
Yeah,
On like the Galvin and on the high school when it happens, we'll have reps at the weekly meeting.
yeah, okay, all right.
We,
Just check.
and Wayne, we had already had a weekly meeting this morning in which Jerry and I were on the phone call.
Yeah,
And if anybody can join, please, you can join it on it's a team, what's it called, Jerry? A Microsoft team meeting. And we met with them this morning.
Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, and we met with them this morning as to where they're going and we'll give you a quick update on that.
very good, thank you.
No problem. The only issue is that if more than probably 3 of us join that meeting, we could have problems with the open meeting law. So we can't have too many people
Yeah.
joining in. That's
I understand.
but like a call like that, if 1 or 2 of us are there, that's no problem. All right. So any other discussion on the PMA June 9th, 2020 invoice 4372-7? Seeing none, are there any objections? I deem it unanimous. Chip,
I move that we approve the July 04372-8 invoice for $3,200.
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, are there any objections? Hearing none, I deem it unanimous.
I move that we approve the Gale invoice 2005172 for the sum of $1,086.
Second.
Any discussion? You'll note on that there are, I had sent the June 2nd bills to the town accountant, but we voted them subject to the available funds. And he has not paid them out yet, but he will be doing so as a result of the town meeting vote.
That was a nice try.
Any other discussion? Any opposition to it? I see none. I deem it unanimous.
I move that we approve the Gale invoice 2006179 for the sum of $3,935.22.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Any opposition? No opposition, deem it unanimous. The next thing is on the Greenwood roof project. I need a motion to allow me to sign the contract Monday for Gale to perform the work.
And do you remember, Joe, or have the contract in front of you for what the total sum is?
$1,000,006.
Sorry, Stumper, I know.
Yeah, it's Stumper. I did not bring the whole thing because it's about,
Yeah,
it's the MSBA.
Could that be 863?
Yeah, I believe that is the number. That the construction number was 863 plus whatever we have coming. I'll check it to make sure.
okay,
It was like 1.3 or something like that, wasn't it?
yeah.
All told, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so what are you signing? Just the Gale part?
Just the Gale part, the construction part, not the PMA, not anything else.
Okay.
But you're signing the Gale contract for them to do the
Roof
roof,
and
but
the
they're not,
JDA.
but they're not really doing the roof, right?
No, that's all subbed out, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's, what am I
So which
talking
con-
about? Not Gale, I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
You're talking Greenwood.
Greenwood. I'm talking Greenwood. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's been a long day already.
Greenwood Industries, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It's the Greenwood Industries bill
yeah,
contract that they sent. That was
Okay.
the bid. And it's
I didn't
all,
know if we had a Gale update to do or something.
no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, so I move that we approve Joe to sign the Greenwood Industries contract for the Greenwood roof.
Second.
Too complicated.
Any discussion? I apologize for that. It's been a weird day. Let's do a roll call on this.
Yeah, we need to.
Chip,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
and Wayne. Yep. I think his audio's on.
Yes.
Okay, there it is. Thanks, Wayne. All right, I'll sign the Greenwood bill. Now, there was a question. I sent the kickoff meeting agenda to everybody and what was discussed, excuse me, to everyone for that was last week and this week. Basically, Jerry, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. They essentially were getting a schedule out early next week. They were a couple of their subs. They hadn't gotten anything yet from them. They were hopeful to get those out early next week. They're going to meet with the school department to set up where they're going to lay everything out, where they're going to park, where they're going to put everything, etc. On Tuesday, and then start work shortly thereafter.
We're actually going to get a schedule?
We're going to get a schedule early next week.
Well, they say we are. I think he's making
I'm telling
reference
you
to the,
what
That'd
did
be
they say,
refreshing.
Jerry?
could be a new contractor.
He said that he was waiting to get the information from his subcontractors tomorrow, and then he was gonna put it together and get it to us by like Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Okay. As soon as I get it out, you'll get it to you, to everybody. All right.
Great.
All right. Now, anything else? Anybody have any other questions on the Greenwood roof?
They expect to start work, what, another week or so?
Gary, I thought they were essentially going to lay out where they're going to work, and then they're going to start shortly thereafter. That's what I got to feel from them. Didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, once their submittals are approved, I mean, none of that stuff is really long lead items. It's more or less getting vendors to be able to supply the stuff and get it delivered. So, my guess is working around what they're doing right now for schedule, it would probably be a week from Monday, probably like the 13th.
And is Bob aware of whatever his crew has to do to like clear rooms or anything for them, or they don't have to worry about that?
They're gonna meet on Tuesday to discuss all that.
Okay.
They're meeting with Bob on Tuesday.
Okay. I know he's on vacation. I just don't know how
Yeah.
long. So.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's what we discussed, that they'll meet him on Tuesday.
Was he at the kickoff meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
Not the meeting today. He was at the
Not the
kickoff
meet-
meeting. though.
he was at the kickoff, not the meeting this morning.
So does he know he's meeting them?
They're sending him an email to
Okay.
set it up. Anything else on the Greenwood roof?
I assume the playground construction's not gonna get in the way of these guys. I think they're getting ready to pour the rubber, so I think they're almost done in the playground, but they do have trucks and equipment in that corner of the lot, so I assume everyone has seen that and will work around them, but you can imagine that they're almost done with that project and they won't overlap too much.
Yeah, they were there last week. We met at the kickoff meeting was at the Greenwood, so
Yes, so
I'm
it's hard
sure
to
they
miss.
saw what was,
Yeah.
what was there.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, the next one is the public
Is this
safety.
Gail?
If you may or may not be aware, there was an attempt for a petition regarding the town meeting vote. The deadline was today, but there also was an action brought in Middlesex Superior Court.
Oh, geez.
The same comment I had. Actually, it was a little harsher. To request a preliminary injunction to allow electronic signatures rather than real wet signatures,
Mhm.
and to have half of the number required for the petition. It was filed on Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, Tuesday. And It has not, as part of any kind of filing and request, you have to send what's called a short order of notice to have the defendant appear. None was ever done. There has been no court action, no court anything, no scheduling or anything. It is my understanding, I got an email from Mr. Mullen, that so far submitted to the town clerk were 39 verified signatures. Less
Out
than
of
10,
400.
less than 10% of the 460 that are needed. However, as a result of that, we just don't know what's going to happen. There was a real question actually between town council, myself, and Steve as to whether that filing affects the Greenwood roof, but we determined it did not. And other town meeting action. So we'll await to see what happens. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll have a better idea.
Is there a cap on how long they take to respond?
No.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, Tom will follow up on it.
Yeah, Tom's got it. He's discussing various options at this time as to how to proceed. And he and I have been discussing it along with Steve.
Okay.
And I had talked to the chief and told him that, you know, pending, at that time when I talked to him, there was no petition, that he has to form an advisory committee in accordance with our bylaws. And he understands that, and hopefully I'm going to let him know that I think it makes sense to get it appointed and get it going, at least to begin with.
Yeah.
But whether that petition does anything or not, it's not a count, just to have it created. At least that's my view. I don't know how everybody else feels or anything else regarding the public safety building.
Seems written and complete.
Got to get it moving.
Yeah, I think my feeling is that with the approval from, the town meeting, that they should start to move forward with creating the documents to have this bid. I don't think you waste any time with that. Get your committee together and start working on the drawings.
Well, there's the problem with that, though, Tom, is bond counsel may not agree with us with the money amount. I don't know. We'll have
The
to talk
action
about it.
taken
Pardon?
because of the lawsuit or the action they've created.
Yes. There may be an issue there. So we just have to at least start with that advisory committee, start from there before we do any action. As I say, I think what's appropriate for us is to meet in a couple of weeks. And I think things by that time maybe will be straightened out as to what, how and, we can proceed and what we can proceed to do.
No.
But because there's a question of the town meeting action, we really don't have the funding yet. So you really can't, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of on hold. So we really can't, and we don't have any extra money left. We went through all that. So we'll just have to, hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll be able to start a more aggressive action toward that. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? The last thing is the high school. I know that the town council created a building committee along with the school committee, I believe. I think Chris
Yep.
involved in that.
Yep.
I know Janine is on it. Myself.
I'm also on it.
You're on it, Tom? Okay.
Which one is that? I got appointed to some high school thing last fall, but no one ever told me. What committee was that?
That was like that list of names became the advisory committee.
So am I on the advisory committee now?
Far
I
as
haven't been
know.
notified. I haven't been notified either way, so I just mention it because now I'm on this committee. So I'd rather, if there's any need of help with that, I'd rather serve it more. I'm an alternate on this committee, but if there's any need, I don't mind helping out if you need it. So
like I said, Tom is on it, Janine's on it, so I don't, and
You're
I'll
good.
be on it,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
a representative, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to be kind of confusing because under the MSBA rules, they have it where their building committee is, makes the final decisions and things like that. But because we do under our charter, under the bylaws, they're really going to act more like, as I would assume, they're going to act as an
Advisor.
advisory committee, like the Galvin one was under Pat Glenn, as you may recall.
Correct.
I'll just. All right.
And Joe, just out of curiosity, has there been any talk or anything else that the funding for the high school or the acceptance of the high school as a project could be put on hold, delayed, or anything because of this whole COVID and taxes and money situation with the state?
I've heard nothing.
Okay.
And as far as that, we were asked that a couple months ago. And they, at that time, the MSBA people said that they do not foresee anything at this time.
Good.
That was 2 months ago. I don't know what, I don't know what's going to change.
We have a new person now, right? The guy left and now we have a new liaison.
She's the contact person for the MSBA, sort of a liaison. But as I say, I don't know if anything's changed in that regard, because that was a couple months ago when that discussion was held. And seeing that, I mean, the first thing we'll have to do is get before town meeting for one of those extremely detailed feasibility studies for all the various options, not like the one we have, but it'll be even greater detail and greater.
It's like $2 million or something, isn't it?
Or more. Oh, that was what Galvin was.
I talked to Lynn, and Lynn indicated on the average, those feasibility studies are between 1.5 and 2.
Yeah. I think Galvin, we were like 500,000 or something like that. But I thought this was like 2 million.
Yeah. I think it was maybe 750 or something like that. I don't remember exactly the number.
But I think we needed to approve 2 million just as like an in case.
Yeah. So I mean, it's more than likely going to be like a 2 million figure, just in case we need it. And then we'll have to go through the whole process and see what happens there.
Good.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
Nope.
Joe, should we set a July 16th, 7 p.m. timetable?
That is exactly what I was going to do.
Okay.
Have a nice time.
July 16th.
That's my birthday. I won't be there.
Hey, happy birthday.
Well, I mean, you've got a phone. You can be there. I mean, I don't understand.
I'm going away even for my birthday for a change. So.
All right. Well, we'll miss.
Happy birthday. We'll miss you.
Yes.
Okay. Certainly meet without me. It's one less meeting I have to attend.
So what we'll set up a meeting for the 16th at 7 o'clock. And if it, it's deemed it's not necessary, if there's nothing happening, we can always not have it.
Right.
But I think it makes sense, especially with the Summer Slammer, that we do have it, make sure they're starting, make sure they're, all their ducks are in a row in case there's an issue, etc. All right.
Just to bring up the Galvin.
Yes.
I guess that's going along well with the borings and stuff, but we haven't seen any of the tile and stuff delivered yet. Is there anybody know if there's a problem? With those materials going to arrive on time?
So as far as I know, I don't think that there's any issue with arrival times. They want to get through at least 50% of the messy work before they start kind of putting things back together, kind of like what they did last year. So they did start earlier this year because we got to start like in the beginning of June.
Right.
And they are making some good headway. I actually spoke to Dave Capaldo and John Toomey, who's the guy that's actually there on site last week. So. Yeah,
I heard they were making great progress. We just were a little concerned that none of the replacement materials had been delivered yet. And I recalled there were certain colors we couldn't get when we built the building. We had to go back and forth. You waited a long time for stuff to come.
So I'll call Dave and confirm. Everything I've heard so far is good news. So
yep.
I can confirm.
A lot of the accent tile that we had trouble with, if you remember right, Chris, is the accent colors in the hallways.
Right.
So flooring wasn't an issue.
Okay.
And that's where most of the work is happening.
It was more to do with the walls.
Yeah, for the delays.
Okay.
Jerry forgot to order it. What's the,
Yeah, it's all Jerry's fault, don't worry.
Always, right?
Yes, well, that's what we were told, Jerry, I don't know. All right, any other business? All right, well,
I
everybody
move
have
that
a
we
great
adjourn.
Fourth. Be safe.
Second.
Yeah, all in favor, if there's any objections, stay on the line, because otherwise I'm leaving. I'm having
Everybody
dinner.
have a great Fourth.
Everybody
You
take
too.
care.
Same to you.
Bye,
You
bye.
too, Chip.
Take care.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Take care.